Good morning. Welcome into Morning Drive on this Monday, January the 9th, the year 2017. This is Studio AP. I'm Damon Hack alongside Carl Robinson, PGA Tour winner Robert Dameron. And speaking of winners, our first multiple winner of the 16-17 season is Justin Thomas. Did you watch him last night, my friend?
Of course I watched him. There was a lot of sports on, though, last night. The football, then the web.com was really interesting, but with the wraparound season, it did strike me as a little odd, but yes, our first multiple winner of the 16-17 season.
Guys, I was hooked. I was actually listening on the radio on PGA Tour Sirius on the way back from playing golf myself. The 15th hole was unfolding as I was pulling in. I was like, I've got to get home and turn this on. It was absolutely gripping. Fabulous, though, for him still to get the job done despite a little collapse down the stretch.
Yeah, his third PGA Tour win. He will tell you that it wasn't the fact that he was nervous on 15. He said he didn't like the way the hole is set up to his eye. Much more on Justin Thomas a little bit later. What else is coming up, Cara?
Well, six-time major champion Nick Faldo joins us live from South Africa on day 2 of the inaugural Friendship Cup. And he has a big announcement regarding future plans for the new event he created with Ernie Els.
We got a huge win from Justin Thomas over at Kapalua. In a few minutes, I'm going to show you how you can learn from his success.
And today, the 10th annual Morgan Pressel and Friends Fight Cancer charity event. It's down in Boca Raton, Florida. Gary Williams and Paige McKenzie are there. You will see a lot of LPGA players hitting golf shots this morning. A lot to learn on this Monday, Cara.
All right, guys. Well, for now, let's say good morning to Lauren Thompson as we look ahead to today's top stories.
Good morning to you, Cara, and the rest of the crew. Good morning to you at home. What a Sunday it was. Now it's on to Monday morning. And looking at today's top stories, it has been reported that Jim Furyk is expected to be named the next U.S. Ryder Cup captain in Paris for the 2018 matches. The official announcement will be made Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on Golf Channel. Denmark's Thomas Bjorn has already been deemed the leader for the Europeans. On to Justin Thomas, though, who capped off his week at Kapalua with a final round 4 under 69 and a 3-shot victory over Hideki Matsuyama. This marks the 23-year-old's second win of the wraparound season, as we mentioned moments ago, and his third PGA Tour title overall. And while the island of Maui boasted mostly sunny skies, beautiful, a high of 76, it was a very different story for the season opener of the web.com tour. Challenging conditions, to say the least, at the Bahamas Great Exuma Classic. A rain delay kicked things off, then scattered showers, stiff winds with gusts upwards of 40 miles per hour. Play was eventually called, though, due to darkness at 5:35 p.m. Eastern Time. And Cara, we're going to have some statements from some of the players out there. I promise our viewers you don't want to miss that. Strong remarks.
Well, the weather at least was calmer, Lauren, in Hawaii, but the SBS Tournament of Champions didn't lack some drama down the stretch. It was enough to keep 2-time major champion Jordan Spieth there until the very end, alongside Jimmy Walker, as well as Spieth's caddy Michael Greller. They were greenside on 18 to congratulate the good friend, of course, very old friend of Jordan Spieth's, Justin Thomas, on capturing his first PGA Tour win on U.S. soil. It was Thomas's third title overall on the PGA Tour after winning back-to-back at the CIMB Classic in 2015 and 16. Now, aged just 23, Justin joins an impressive list of players over the last 10 years to have captured 3 wins before turning 24. And golf's in a pretty good place if you go by that list of 20-somethings. His initial reaction, though, after winning, guys, was really just relief that he's booked his place back in the field, Robert, at Kapalua next year. This week means a lot to these players.
It does mean a lot to the players. And one thing you said earlier that struck me is, well, he did make his mistake when you were pulling in and just starting to watch, and he doubled 15. And he's going to learn more from that mistake and going ahead and winning than he would have had he just cruised to a 4, 5, 6-shot win. He was facing down the best player in the world right now, even though he's not ranked. No one's better than Hideki over the last 2 or 3 months. So he learned a lot about himself by that strong birdie finish.
He also said that a couple of years ago he might not have reacted as well as he did to a double bogey on the 15th hole of a tournament he's trying to. And he's also been dealing with the expectations of being a part of that vaunted high school class of 2011. He was very honest in his post-round remarks yesterday, saying, listen, I felt like I was putting pressure on myself. I was frustrated. It's not that I don't wish my great buddy Jordan Spieth success and these other great players in that class, but he feels he belongs on that level. Well, he's starting to show that he is. That's his second win in his last 3 events on the PGA Tour. He's ranked 12th now, the highest he's ever been ranked in the official world golf rankings. This is the player we all thought that he was when he came out of the University of Alabama, when he won those national championships, when he won the Haskins Award. This is the player that everyone expected to see on the PGA Tour, and now he's starting to produce the results.
I couldn't agree more. And, you know, to react to what you said about him becoming the first multiple winner of this 2016-17 season, he's now won 2 of his last 3 worldwide starts with the SBS Tournament of Champions and the CIMB Classic. I can't help but think back to his remarks this time a year ago with Mark Rolfing in Hawaii, and he said his #1 goal of 2016 was to make the Ryder Cup team ahead of any major championship. He came close, but he didn't make it. He didn't really do much in a major either. I really wonder if this win will really bounce him onto bigger and better things in 2017. He seems to be a lock for the President's Cup team now, at least.
Yeah, and he admitted he put a lot of pressure on himself to make that Ryder Cup team. Obviously wasn't able to do it. But we can watch and learn from Justin Thomas getting that 3rd victory. You want to take a walk?
Sure we can.
After you, buddy.
Let's do it. Follow me.
Let's start with that 5th hole. I mean, the guy was hitting great shots all Sunday long. This approach shot into 5. What can we learn from Justin Thomas?
We know he's going to hit a lot of irons into par 5s, just like this one. Here, look at this, though. See where the flagstick is right there? Look where he's aimed. This is a beautiful shot. He hit a high cut, and I'm going to show you how he hit this high cut. Step 1, the ball's going to start where that club face is aimed. That's where he was aimed. His club face was aimed at those towers. His body was aimed left. He swung across his body, club face aimed right, high, soft, and that's all it is.
Some may call that a butter cut. No?
That was a little more than a butter cut. A butter cut would say, oh, it's a soft cut. That was a wide cut, but a perfectly executed one.
A great iron shot. He hit great iron shots really all day. This may be the best one on 17 from 214 yards.
And the clutch of this. I mean, this is a great shot in a practice round, but he's one ahead of the best player in the world at this point, and he needs to hit a good shot. And let's see what he does. He's on a severe, severe downhill lie. Watch this action. This is how you win the Tournament of Champions.
And he's walking after it.
Well, the reason he's walking after it, it's not because he's, got the Ray Floyd following it because I know I hit a good shot. The severe downslope caused that. We're going to see that here in a second. If you level your shoulders and your hips the way you're supposed to with this lie, look at that, how beautiful that is. Shoulders, hips, level with the lie, leaning downhill. If you back up and try to level yourself with the horizon, you're going to hit behind it and chunk it and maybe even skip over it. He stayed nice down and level through. He just let his weight go on and carry him down the hill. The ball was gone, no problem.
Wonderful shot, a wonderful winner, and great conditions in Hawaii. Did you see the conditions yesterday, though, in the Bahamas? Not as good at the Great Exuma Classic. It was winds from 20 to 30 miles an hour, gusting up to 40 miles an hour. Very difficult to play golf. A lot of players not very happy with the conditions they had to play in. Much more ahead. We send it to Lauren Thompson.
Ooh, yeah, that is a rough day out there on the golf course. Well, turning our attention to one of our greatest initiatives as a channel is Golf Cares, shining the light on all the good the game does. Roughly $3.8 billion, yeah, billion with a B, is raised annually through golf, and one of which has some of our own team members making the move to South Florida for a passionate and personal event. As we get you over to Gary Williams.
Lauren, thank you very much. We take a look at images from last year. That was year 9 of Morgan and Friends to celebrate the life and also raise awareness and also dollars for breast cancer because Morgan Pressel sadly lost her mother at way too early an age, and it's always a thrill for me. This is year 3 for me to be joined by Paige McKenzie and the host yourself. It's year 10 for Morgan and Friends. Morgan Pressel, major champion. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for being here. So excited, Paige. This is your first time.
I know. So I'm very excited to be here. I've heard a lot of great things.
Thanks for coming.
You know, I've just mentioned about your mom, and every time I think about it, I don't get sad. I get happy because you're celebrating her life. You're keeping her legacy alive. Explain to the viewers why you started this.
Yeah, well, that was the goal. That was my goal when I met with some friends here at St. Andrews who knew my mother because we lived here as a family, and what can we do? We thought, we just kind of were brainstorming, throwing ideas around. How can we honor my mother? How can we really make an impact in our community? How can we better the lives of other women battling breast cancer so that other families don't have to go through what we did? And like I said, we just threw ideas against the wall. We didn't know what we were doing. We certainly have a lot of people here that have been very helpful and know about fundraising, but I didn't know anything. And it's just been such an incredible learning experience, this community. From day one, I asked last night for people to raise their hands. Who was here for the first year, 10 years ago? And at least half the room raised their hands. And it was really, really neat. And I mean, they were there the first year, but they've been here every year. And it's a big family here. They really And like I said, a lot of them knew my mother, so it's special for a lot of us as well, even though it's been nearly 15 years. She still kind of has a home here and always will, so it's very special.
And after 10 years of this event, raising over $5 million, what are you most proud of?
Oh, I don't know, proud. I mean, this day every year gets to me. I mean, I've had a lot of great opportunities on the golf course, but there's nothing like being able to give back to the community. When you see that Mama van that was in that photo earlier drive down the road, it's with my mother's picture on it. It's very, very special. I think that's probably the thing that us as a community, we really feel like that's a tangible piece. That's something that we see that other people see, that go out to areas to help women get mammograms that might otherwise be intimidated, can't afford it, all sorts of different reasons. And that's probably one of our coolest pieces, and that's why we love it as a display piece, but it's very, very functional, and it works very hard.
It really does. I came over here yesterday afternoon, and it put a smile on my face to see it parked out front. You had 430 people last night for dinner. Over 10,000 mammograms have been done in this greater South Florida area. The impact that your friends being here has on you every year?
Oh, I ask every year, I put out an ask and nobody hesitates. It's really just unbelievable. They come here, they donate their time. Everybody here loves being around them, loves learning from them, playing golf with them this morning, and they have such great big hearts, and I'm so lucky to have such incredible friends. I really am, and they make this event so much fun for everyone here, and a special day here at the club.
Well, if you want to see some pictures from last night when they were all dolled up, you can go to all the Instagram accounts, including Morgan's herself. Much more coming up with you and all of your friends a little bit later on. Thank you for having us here. It's going to be a great morning, a great day to raise money for a very important cause. So for now, though, let's go back to Studio AP and Lauren Thompson.
Thank you so much. Wow, what an impactful event. Looking forward to the rest of their morning there in Boca. And while it is chilly but clear there, earlier we touched on just how rough the conditions were yesterday for day one of the 2017 season of the Web.com Tour in the Bahamas Great Exuma Classic. But do you know the best possible ways to try and keep your game in check while battling brutal elements? Our pro, he's going to pass on his best kept secrets straight to you in case you're dealing with that. Speaking of weather, this time of year is a chilly one that can rob you of some much desired time on the golf course. Michael Breed, though, the host of The Fix, he has prepared some pretty creative indoor drills that he promises will keep your game hot until you can get back out there for a tee time. Then, ladies and gents, it's back-to-back days of World Series champs in studio. Yesterday it was Kevin Millar. Today we're going to bring you three-time MLB All-Star Josh Beckett, who earned his rings with the Marlins and the Red Sox. He's competing for a golf title, though, next week, and part of his prep for it will be live in front of your eyes today in the simulator. Something we know you're prepping for, though, watching 2 weeks in a row of the PGA Tour playing the game in the Aloha State. No complaints about that. We take an early dive into the Sony Open in Hawaii, Waialae Country Club, and everything that goes with it. This is Monday. You are watching Morning Drive.